To the Chiquita Cup here on Prime. The United States women taking on Germany. The first time that the women have been on live on national television. It is Germany in the green and white to kick off against the USA in predominant white with the red and blue stripes. Your referee for today's game is Sonia de Noncourt, Robert Kuhn, and George Vergara are your linesmen. The reserve linesperson is Carla Nagel. The Germans going up against the United States as we are underway here at George Mason. Germany will play it out of the back. To the right side it goes. Number 14 is Austermuhl. Sent long on the right side. They're looking for Voss. Doesn't get there. Karen Gabarra settles it down. Gave it up on the far side. U.S. bring it to the back. The number 2 player is Thori Staples, who plays at North Carolina State. Up near the halfway line. U.S. attacking, played wide on the left side. A chance for Christine Lilly, but it is knocked away from her. Germany have played the United States 5 times. USA has won 3 times. What can we look for today, Wendy, from the Germans?
The Germans like to settle the ball down, as you see here. They're working the ball at the back really nice from the very start. However, they're having some problems because the U.S. plays high pressure up front.
The U.S. would have a speed advantage. The Germans would have a height and probably physical advantage. We'll see how this plays out today here at George Mason. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the United States, and the soccer mom is going to take it. Joy Fawcett gave birth in May to a daughter, and here she is playing a few months later in the big soccer game. Over the ball, number 13, Christine Lilly, the only 4 consecutive All-American in women's college soccer history. Lilly sends it long. Michelle Akers-Stahl was going for that. She was double covered inside the 18. Mia Hamm trying to settle it. Outside of the area, tackled away from her. So many choices here for the Germans in terms of who you mark for the United States.
Oh, it's got to be tough with Hamm's speed up front, and all the players up front have different qualities. Hamm's got great explosion and speed. Of course, Akers-Stahl, anytime she gets within the 20 yards in front of the goal, she's going to take a shot. She's really, really dangerous.
She has 2 players on her now as the ball is stolen away by Germany, and Brianna Scurry comes out to make a big play early. She won't be credited with a save there, but she made a huge, huge move in the 3rd minute of play. Scurry will send this one long. Off a header, Michelle Akers-Stahl looking. Wide on the right side. U.S. still battling for it. Number 5 is Tiffany Roberts, a story in and of itself in that she's only 17 years of age. All the way back, Julie Foudy. Giving it up to Staples right at the halfway line. 13 again, it's Christine Lilly.
Lilly is such a workhorse, JP. You see her getting out of these little tight spaces here. Quick little moves. She never stops working.
Throw-in coming up. And it'll be for the German side. Tossed in by the number 11 player, Martina Voss. 60 caps, 14 goals. No score here as we approach the 4th minute of play at George Mason. The ball gets by Lilly and is chased at the back by the team's leader, Carla Overbeck. 4 years she played at the University of North Carolina. Very vocal at the back. We'll hear her, I'm sure, today. And this one goes out of play. What can you tell us? I know it's very early. We're only 3 minutes in.
It looks like they're having a little trouble settling into their touch. This is a great surface out here at George Mason University, so the field should not be a problem.
We just saw the all-time record, USA with a slight edge. Staples is coming back to help out Scurry, who makes the play. Brianna Scurry, this is only her 6th international appearance. The number 1 goalkeeper in 1991 was Mary Harvey. She's just bouncing back from knee surgery.
That's right. She's battled injuries actually ever since the '91 World Cup. But Scurry's really doing well so far. She's come out and really dominated the entire box.
Germany will take it back near the halfway line on the left side. Intercepted now by the United States with a wealth of firepower. That's part of it as it's sent long down the left sideline. Mia Hamm chasing it. It goes out of play. There'll be a throw-in coming up. Several of these players are from the University of North Carolina. 5, in fact. They've played here before many times against George Mason. On the left side, across in front. Michelle Akers-Stahl looking to turn. Look at the strength as she spins free, tried the cross, and it was blocked. Normally, the longer you hold on to the ball in the box, good things don't happen, but in this case it almost did.
Yeah, Michelle's got a, she's a hard worker in that box. She's so big, she can really hold off 1 or 2 men at one time. However, they are going to be marking her up really tight.
Throw in coming up, Christine Lilly. Flicked inside, that was Venturini that tried it. And now it's blasted out of the back by Germany, up to the halfway line again. Carla Overbeck can't clear it that far away, and Germany will take over again right at the halfway line. The ball put in his space. Voss was chasing it. It's cut off well by the sweeper Overbeck. Intercepted though, and again it's Germany. Austermuhl's pass now to the right side. Meinert puts it into space, but it's too far for Voss. And a goal kick coming up. The first game of the Chiquita Cup was won, I thought surprisingly, by China 3-2. Norway would have been the favorite team. They finished second to your team in 1991. That had to surprise you, I would think.
Actually, I was very surprised by that result. However, the Chinese, they are an incredibly talented side.
One of those sides that are getting better as the women's game improves all over the world. Everybody getting ready for the 95 World Championship to be played in Sweden. And here's Michelle Akers-Stahl, who plays now in Sweden. Down the left side, an offside flag is up on Mia Hamm. And that's where the United States is trying to exploit the speed advantage they have against Germany.
Exactly. They were looking over the top there to find Mia. She just didn't read the defensive line very well.
This is like a dream team, if you will, of players from both sides. But for the United States, you wonder how they blend all of these superstars together. And here's one of them in Michelle Akers-Stahl. Surprisingly, I guess you'd have to say, this team plays so unselfishly. As Stahl was brought down, play on, good call to let it go on the advantage, and now it's intercepted the other way.
Here, JP, I think that's a credit to Anson, taking great players and blending them together to get the right chemistry.
In many cases, in many different years, 4 or 5 of these players were the top goal scorers on their team, and in cases like this, they're being asked to be a playmaker, and in some cases, role players. Germany will take it back. 2-on-3, everybody coming back now for the U.S. Meinert looking to get a chance to the turnaround. Staples catches up and then backs off at the last moment. That's getting close to penalty kick territory. And a foul goes the other way on Meinert. But as soon as the ball was lost by the United States, several players do jump back in a hurry.
That's right. I think, JP, we need to see Carla tightening up a little bit back here. I'm actually surprised that Staples is marked up on Heidi Moore. She's one of the best forwards in the world. She's got a job cut out for her.
Ball is played long now by Overbeck. Headed back by the German side. They look for Meinert. It's too far away. Joy Fawcett, the closest one there. When the 8th minute of play, no score between Germany and the United States. This is the first game for the United States anyway in the 1994 Chiquita Cup. Along with Wendy Gabarra, a member of the 91 championship team, I'm John Paul Della Camera. 9 players from that 91 team are playing for the USA coming up in 1995, assuming, of course, that they all make the final roster. They had training camp this week. 24 players started, and those 8 cuts had to be tough.
Oh, I'm sure they were. You know, JP, a lot of the players have chosen to play in Sweden to be able to get the game experience that they need. I guess 5 of the players are for the U.S. team now.
Throw in on the far sideline for Germany. 9th minute of play. The number 10 player is Sylvia Need. Watch out for her, 37 goals. She can find the back of the net. Throw in coming up far side for the United States. We're looking for the game's first goal. Karen Gabarra could be one of the ones that could certainly get it as she was tripped up outside of the penalty area. But a dangerous free kick set up here for the United States.
Gabarra doesn't mind getting 3 or 4 players in front of her here. You look, she's just juking. She beats a player, another player, and then gets taken down. Very dangerous attack here for the U.S.
3 players over the ball. Played inside the penalty area, and that one didn't work the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't target off Michelle to begin with. They might as well just get the ball in the box and let her do her thing.
That was Julie Foudy, who helped to try to set something up. She's a midfielder and a former All-American at Stanford. You could probably say All-American for a majority of these players. Up the left wing sideline it comes. And it's knocked out. The number 16 player, Grigory, was the closest one to it. Went off her. There's the throw-in for the United States. Settled by Venturini. Look how deep Venturini is playing, and she is a goal scorer at the University of North Carolina. One of those players that has had a change in role. Where into the 10th minute of play, Germany have outscored their opponents this year. That's not a misprint. 36-0 in 4 games this year. That's a big-time goal differential, wouldn't you say?
That's right, JP. Hopefully the United States aren't worrying too much about that. They just need to come out here and do their job.
On the far side, this one goes out of play as well. There'll be a throw-in coming up here for the United States. Looking for ways to find Michelle Akers-Stahl. Every time I look on the field and find Michelle, I find definitely one player on her, Wendy, and sometimes two, depending on where the ball is.
The Germans can't afford to leave her alone out there on the field.
This is a lady that scored 5 goals in 1 game at a World Cup level. Gabarra giving it up on the left side. Settled, and then given up by Christine Lilly. She, like Mia Hamm, have had their numbers retired at the University of North Carolina. Foudy will give it up over the halfway line. Fawcett playing it long for Mia Hamm. There's no offside flag, but the goalkeeper, Goller, is right there. And again, that's the second time we've seen them go over the top for Mia, this time down the middle.
Actually, a lot of their focus in practice in this last 6 months has been long ball service. Coach Dorrance feels that was a weakness in the game, and he's worked to perfect that.
Hard to imagine that they had a weakness after winning it in '91, but everyone, as we said earlier, is getting better at it. Up the far side, Austermuhl trying to give it up, and it's broken up. They were looking for the number 9 player, Heidi Moore. Germany getting it back. They're very tenacious this side.
They sure are, JP. Did you see Christine there? She got out of that trouble just dancing with the ball. Great player, fun to watch.
On the right side, a block by Mia Hamm. And you will see, especially if you watch University of North Carolina games, even the goal scorers come back and play defense. There's the double team. And you can see the strength because Christine Lilly was all over the number 11 player, Martina Voss, but she stayed with it. The Germans intercept. In the middle, Grigoli. Couple of nice fakes, still dancing with it, now gives it up. On the intercept, the USA will always look for that counterattack, and here it comes down the left side. Gabarra was looking for it. That's holding in any league. Oh, good quick restart for Karen Gabarra. Venturini into space. Here's Michelle Akers-Stahl looking, and she couldn't get the shot away. Bernhard makes a great play, and in some situations, players there take a dive. Not Michelle. She's going for goal on her own.
That's right. It takes a lot to uproot her. She's on a crash course for scoring a goal. Here she is right here. Tough defensive play there.
On the throw-in, Gabarra looking for it. Now with a cross in front, and it's caught by Goller. This German side is a collection of 5 players from FSV Frankfurt, and they have actually 17 players from 8 different club teams in Germany.
A lot of stuff is happening in women's soccer here in the U.S. Obviously, they're trying to start a women's pro league now, but that is a real benefit that the German players have.
And the future of women's soccer, it's already begun, but it's certainly enhanced by programs like this, the Chiquita Cup. Long distance, Michelle Akers-Stahl tackle away again. Bernhard showing a lot of tenacity inside her own 18-yard area. Soccer Industry Council agrees with me. It's a 40% figure now of women that play soccer in this country. There's the cross in front and a header that's cleared away. Nice cross, though, by Venturini. They were looking again for Mia Hamm, as was the German defense.
All right, here's Venturini getting a great cross off. Mia Hamm almost gets in there for a diving header.
Germany takes it back, Mead. Intercepted there by number 11, Julie Foudy, giving it up to Thori Staples. Staples played at North Carolina State, a 2-time All-American. Mia Hamm with some help. Venturini leading it for Hamm. In the 18, the shot, Mia Hamm scores! The United States will take a 1-0 lead in minute 14.
Let's take another look at that here. See Venturini chews up the space as much as she can and actually finds Mia Hamm through. Times her run perfectly. She's very, very composed in the box and just slots it past the keeper.
Mia Hamm as cool as they get inside the 18. We'll see it from the goalkeeper's
Again, here's
view.
another angle. And Venturini beats that one player there and finds the through ball. Great finish for Hamm.
That's going to be a goalkeeper's nightmare. Mia Hamm, a prolific goal scorer, walking in a one-on-one situation. Her 27th goal with the national team. USA with the ball. We'll see if that opens things up a little bit here as Rigoli takes it. Need taking it back the other way. Venturini looking forward, and now Germany will take it back. All the way to the far side. Rigoli. Patricia Rigoli. Broken up by the United States. Sensing a little killer instinct. Look at the space here on the far side. On a run all the way down the right was the youngster, Tiffany Roberts, and you got to know how gifted a player she is to start at the age of 17.
Sounds like another Mia Hamm story.
Think about the men's national team. As I recall, Claudia Reyna was the youngest, and he was 20. This is 3 years younger. This is a high school player playing with grown women. Right side, here's another potential chance, but Venturini was blocked. Inside, Foudy on the dribble. Nice move around two players. Foudy's still on the dribble. Foudy looking to cross, and she'll get a corner out of it, but what a great dribbling exhibition she just put on.
JP, she is magic on the ball. Every time she gets the ball in the midfield, she's going to look to change the point of the attack.
And the defense rests. That's Bornschein. Karen Gabarra now in the corner kick. Michelle Akers-Stahl will be the larger target at 5'10", as we look at Foudy getting her wind back after that dribbling exhibition. Here's the corner. Gabarra sends it outside. They're looking Michelle Akers-Stahl's way. She headed it down. That was a pass in front. Here's Overbeck with a long distance shot and an easy stop for Goller. Germany will take it back with Voss. 17th minute of play. United States leading it 1-0 unofficially. It's the 14th minute on the goal. Officially by Mia Hamm.
I mean, I can't move the camera.
Play to the back. And now straight up the middle for the United States, trying to find some room. Intended upfield for the number 5 player Roberts, and now it's taken back the other way. Sylvia Need. A double foul.
JP, so far we've seen both Mia Hamm and Karen Gabarra getting back into the midfield to win those balls and start the attack.
Karen Gabarra teamed so well with Michelle Akers-Stahl in China in 1991. Got a lot of credit for it. Her husband, Jim Gabarra, played in the U.S. men's and now is coaching indoors the Washington Warthogs in the Continental Indoor Soccer League. That is also covered here on Prime. Another foul, this time on Venturini.
I think the U.S. is a little bit weary of Doris coming through the middle with her 13 goals coming from the back there. They've got to really keep marked up on her.
Yeah. Need will give it up. Germany with Meinert, number 7, playing it back. Looking for space in the middle. It's not there. It's picked off by the United States. Here they come, but that counter is foiled on the bad pass. Turned around inside by Nardenbach on the right. Moore with a cross. And that's intercepted inside the 18 and then cleared out.
Again, Overbeck is so composed back there.
Gabarra getting to it. About the only thing you could say the U.S. has done wrong in this first half. A couple of times those passes a little tentative across the middle, and they've been picked off.
That's right. The German midfield is coming after him. They're really not giving him a lot of space. Usually Foudy has a little bit more time to play make.
Oh, Michelle Akers-Stahl, I thought was off to the races until that trip on the far sideline. She's the all-time leading scorer in this team. Think about it, 62 goals in 67 games, almost a goal a game.
Take a look at this again. She almost breaks through past that last player, but I guess the only choice that the Germans have is to take her down at that point.
From the right side, a direct free kick coming up as the Germans get set up defensively. United States leading it 1-0 on a Mia Hamm goal in minute 14. All set, far sideline. On a driven ball inside, Foudy, not enough, and then a shot was taken by Stahl. It was covered up. That's a good reaction by the goalkeeper, Goller, because the point of attack changed.
It sure is. Actually, I was surprised that Foudy didn't get more on that, but Michelle was really patient behind her and expected maybe that ball to slip through. Again, here we see it. Mia Hamm takes the cross, and Foudy just doesn't quite get enough on it.
Nardenbach takes it as we're back on live action, admiring the skills of Michelle Akers-Stahl. 1-0, United States leading in this one against Germany. Here's Venturini. Hamm breaks for an open space. What a great long ball, but not great enough. That one just missed with the goalkeeper reading it all the way.
Looks to me that Mia Hamm's youth, if you could call her young at this point, is really paying off. She seems to be very fit still.
Down the right side, still in her very early 20s, and a true success story. Mia Hamm, 22 years of age, lists Chapel Hill, North Carolina now as her hometown. What a great player and a pleasure to watch during 4 years of collegiate soccer. And she would have been like Christine Lilly, a 4 consecutive All-American, but she took a year off to train so that she could be on that women's 91 championship team. So she redshirted the 1 year. United States look to get it back, but number 11, Voss, will get it instead for the Germans. Good idea, but the pass not there, and Staples comes back in a hurry. Overbeck had it stripped. Here's a chance for Meinert. Chased by Fawcett. Meinert pulls the keeper out. And then the shot is saved by Scurry, but Scurry saves the day before that by not giving Meinert a chance.
Scurry read that really well, JP. She came out and put the pressure on the offensive player there to feel like she had to maybe take a shot, so she pulled it back, actually. And here we see her going outside. She pushes her outside, and then she pulls it back to take a shot.
She made her think instead of react.
Exactly.
That keeps it scoreless. In terms of the German side, U.S. has the 1 goal by Mia Hamm, but it could have been a 1-1 game right there. We're in the 21st minute of play at George Mason's home field. Intercepted now by the German side.
Look at this pressure.
Handball it results in, so now a free kick. Always dangerous, especially from this close. Christine Lilly is going to take it, and not as close as we thought. A yard or two back further, about 24 yards out. Lilly ready to strike, and take your pick of a target, but look for Michelle Akers-Stahl as Lilly does. It gets too high, it's loose in the box. Chasing it, Foudy or Venturini, and it goes out, but a corner kick is coming up. That's a long time for that ball to lie there inside the 18.
It sure is. Venturini was working real hard, dancing around. She almost got the cross back off again.
Another United States corner kick. They lead it 1-0 if you're just joining us here on Prime, along with Wendy Gabarra. I'm John Paul Della Camera. Thanks for joining us today in the first live televised event of women's soccer in this country. On the right side, Karen Gabarra. On the cross, again they look for Stahl. In the air, she's passing another header. Inside, and it's cleared. Still in the area. Wow, what action. Headed down again. And off a deflection, that ball was in the area. No exaggeration. I'm going to say 10 seconds, which is an eternity.
The Germans must have felt like it was, for sure.
Michelle Akers-Stahl is showing her amazing skill because she has a chance to head it from that direction, but she's passing for someone else. On the left side, here's Lilly. Trying to go one-on-one. Voss solid against her. And Lilly stays back, trying to win it back after she had lost it. That's what makes the great players. Foudy right back up the middle. Now for Stahl. There's that double team again, and make it a triple team. 3 players surrounding Michelle Akers-Stahl, who's taken her fair share of whack so far in this first half. Fawcett. Intercepted. Nardenbach. Intercepted by Staples. And the game is picking up in its pace here at George Mason.
Again, we'll take a look at the scoring opportunity for the U.S. here. It's hard to see, but Akers-Stahl had the initial header off the corner, and then Foudy was sealing the post off and actually got another header off of that.
If there was a third header, I think it would have been Mia Hamm's opportunity, but there was some solid defense played by the Germans. We're in the 24th minute of play, and you can look at Brianna Scurry right now as one of the key players of this match because it should be 1-1. She stopped really a breakaway against Meinert to keep it a 1-0 lead for the United States. Following the Chiquita Cup, the United States will be traveling to Montreal, where they must qualify. The defending champs in the women's side don't get an automatic berth in their version of the World Cup like the men do, so the U.S. have to qualify. 2 teams go in from CONCACAF. They're expected to advance when they play a 5-game schedule, as I recall, in Montreal, which will be right after this Cup.
Of course, for the 91 World Cup, only 1 team qualified out of CONCACAF, so that's new.
Oh, yeah,
Right side, the U.S. looking to advance as it's cleared out.
Having a little problem.
While the women's soccer game around the world has really improved a lot, we haven't noticed it as much in terms of CONCACAF with those nations catching up to the United States. We've seen it more from some of the other nations, the Germanys, the Norways, and as you point out at the top, China, but I'm sure it's going to come.
A lot of it has to do with the leagues that the Scandinavian, European girls have to play in year-round.
Voss will take it now for Germany. It's a 1-0 United States lead. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll have a conversation with the head coach of the U.S. national team, Anson Dorrance, who announced earlier in the week his resignation. He'll stay with the team through those qualification games in Montreal, and then Tony DiCicco will take over. Lauren Gregg also is assisting Anson Dorrance, as she always does, on the U.S. bench. Foul called on the United States. That was Gabarra. Restart coming up. More. Germany will work it back. Fitschen going forward against Gabarra. Now wide to the right side, it's Voss. Looking to settle, playing it back to Nardenbach. Nardenbach again. United States with 3 defenders on this near sideline. 26th minute of play. U.S. leading it 1-0 on a Mia Hamm score that we have in the 14th minute of play. Her 27th international goal. Played all the way across on the right side. Fitschen. Hamm is down on the field, just seems to be adjusting a shoe right now. Unless there was an injury we didn't see. Long distance shot, and Scurry was very quick. I thought I heard post there, unless that was the sound of her hand slapping against it. Meinert had a chance.
Again, we'll take a look at that shot. Actually surprised that she had that much time at the top of the box, and Scurry, by all means, had to get to that ball. It would have been in the back of the net.
That was her hand, not the post, the sound of it, so you could imagine the force of that shot from Meinert. Here's the United States with Gabarra coming back. Karen Gabarra outside of the area. It's deflected away by the German side. Not discouraged at all by their miss earlier when Scurry robbed them. They're still very much in this one, down 1-0, but they continue to attack with Meinert. Needs help on that side, waits for it, puts it into space, cut off. 2 players had that one intercepted. Here's Overbeck. Left side, Mia Hamm, where the Jets going. Hamm in the one-on-one was caught up that time by Voss, which tells you something about Voss's speed. Hamm stayed with it. Fitschen with that experience and toughness won that ball, and now this time it was a bit of an injury for Hamm, not a shoe adjustment. 28th minute of play, 1-0 U.S. Here come the German side. Straight up the middle, into space. Moore looking one-on-one against Fawcett. Now plays it back. Wrong decision, as it turns out, as the U.S. intercepts. Gabarra. Coming back. Played to Overbeck. Overbeck is her married name. Those that followed college soccer would remember as Carla Wharton in her North Carolina days.
Looks like maybe the U.S. is trying to give their front runners a little break right now.
28th minute of play. The sun is coming out now strong, but it was very humid out there in the field. As you said before, the field's in great condition. That's no problem, but the heat and humidity could take its toll before this is over. Nardenbach has it blocked. Mia Hamm putting it into space. Michelle Akers-Stahl held and then brought down. That should be a card. Forget a foul. I'm surprised. Should have been a card.
Here we'll take another look at it. Mia Hamm, great ball through to Michelle Akers-Stahl. We got a great battle going on here between Michelle and Bernhard. Here we see a different look here. It looks like Michelle's going to take this kick.
3 players around the ball. Body language is telling you Michelle's going to take it. But you have Lilly there as well, so we'll see. It's Michelle's, the shot taken. Michelle Akers-Stahl scores. Chalk went up to my partner. 2-0 United States. Nice job, Coach.
Thanks, Jakey. Tell you, that goal reminds me of our last game here at George Mason. I think Michelle had that against China. Same exact angle, same exact shot, just bends it into the upper corner. again. We'll take another look at it here. There's nothing the keeper can do on that.
Now, you knew she was going to take it. Do the Germans know? Are they fooled by Lilly's first run?
That first run is definitely a deceptive run. It makes them think, but actually they hold their wall real tight there.
That's just a great shot.
Just can't be better placed than that.
I mean, we saw Stoichkov do that off the left foot when his side did so well for Bulgaria. There's nothing really a goalkeeper can do there. You've got to guess almost because you can't see it till it comes over the wall. And at that speed, if you're not already up in the air, you don't get it.
Exactly. The keeper's really shielded by the wall.
Here's Germany again. Give them credit. They still go forward in this battle. But it's right at Brianna Scurry, whose save off Minot looks even more impressive now that the U.S. has a 2-0 lead on Michelle Akers-Stahl's goal in the 30th minute of play. It is her 63rd goal in this her 68th game. Karen Gabarra. We'll see if things don't open up a little bit more. For both sides here as Foudy puts it into space. Down a run on the right side is Tiffany Roberts. Looking to cross. She has Gabarra. Gabarra settles. He's allowed a chance, or a near chance. That was very close to being 3-0 if she touches that ball.
JP Roberts is, I believe she holds a record in the 400 for high school track. Not only is she fast, but she can run all day. It looks like they're going to feed her a lot today.
Ball is coming back to this near sideline. Bernhard against Lilly, and it goes out of play. With the Germans continuing to go forward, we're going to see a lot more space, it looks like, for the United States, and they may take full advantage of that with that 2-0 lead. There's Michelle Akers-Stahl, the goal scorer, with her 64th goal. That's almost a goal-a-game clip. 68th game, and this one's not over yet. She may get to a goal-a-game status fairly soon, hard as it is. Voss giving it up into the middle. Minor can't find the handle. Foudy can. Michelle Akers-Stahl does well as a target player also. This is Fitschen cutting it off, but almost gives it up to Hamm. On that far side, it's cleared away by the goalkeeper, Goller.
JP, Venturini is just magic in the midfield. She knew where she was going to place that ball even before it was passed to her.
And we're going to see a substitution. Sarah Rafanelli from Stanford is coming in.
She's actually coming in for Akers-Stahl.
Is there perhaps an injury situation that we're not aware of? I know she's been hit quite a few times, and they have a game coming up Wednesday, but this surprises me.
Actually, Michelle has been battling being sick for about a year now, and she, even up to about 6 months ago, was only able to go about 10 minutes a game. So that may be why we're seeing that.
With a 2-0 lead, she is pulled by the United States. She'll be well rested for Wednesday's game against China in New Jersey at Rutgers.
And at the same time, feeling very played in, I'm sure, with scoring that great goal.
How does that change things now for the U.S.? They look to her so much, but now does Gabarra become the focal point, Hamm, or a combination?
Well, I think that we may actually lack somebody staying as high because you've got a great work rate by these three front runners. They tend to come back and try and help out in the midfield a lot.
Can anyone else play target like she could?
I don't think there's anyone that can do it as Michelle can with her strength.
Free kick coming up for Germany. That's Rafanelli, who just came on. Sarah Rafanelli from Piedmont, California, the all-time leading goal scorer at Stanford. You replace a great goal scorer with an All-American, and they can do that down the line. Here's Voss, looked over the shoulder for help, now puts it into space, cut off again. Overbeck has had a strong game already. We're still in the first half, into the 34th minute of play. Lilly.
Feels good. A little breeze.
Playing it into space, but the Germans will collect it. The number 8 player is Bornschein. Into the middle. Over the halfway line comes Germany. Now played back. Voss has had a lot of the ball in the first half. Here's Bernhard, one of her few runs forward. She has been doing a stellar job on Stahl at the back. Michelle's only goal was off that free kick, but with Stahl out, maybe Bernhard goes forward more.
Exactly. She's going to be a threat coming out of the back there, definitely.
What a collision that was on the near sideline. Our effects microphones are picking that up. Long pass by Venturini. Rafanelli at the end of it. On the cross, she'll get a corner kick out of it. U.S. with a 2-0 lead will have a corner to the near side, and again, with Stahl out, you look for someone else. USA up 2-0 on goals by Hamm in the 14th minute, Stahl in the 30th. Rafanelli getting into position for this corner kick. Gabarra will take it. Mentioned Karen's husband Jim. He's on hand here today watching the game. He'll be coaching his team tonight.
Might look for Gabarra to find Foudy on this one.
Gabarra all the way out of the box area, headed away by Germany. Settled. Fawcett giving it up into the middle, looking for Venturini. Venturini almost steals, now does on the dribble. Voss made a great defensive play, because if Voss is beaten there, it's a break. Rafanelli helps to win it. Hamm in there as well. Now Staples. A lot of confidence here for the U.S. with that 2-0 lead. Here's Staples waiting for Roberts to make the run into space. A little bit too late on the timing, and Bornschein will take it.
Thought we were going to see Staples take a shot from out there.
Voss lets it go out, throw in for Germany in the 36th minute of play. It's a 2-0 lead here for the United States. Intercepted, and this one goes out. Venturini, more of the playmaker on this team instead of the goal scorer like she has been at UNC.
Well, I think that's her role, and she's accepted that here, and obviously is very, very talented at that.
Roberts will take the throw on the right side. Intended for Foudy. They're expecting a sellout crowd today here at George Mason. Looks like they got it. Around 5,000 is the estimated capacity. Here's Need intercepting for Germany. Germany trying to build up the attack, but right now they're down to a very strong U.S. team, 2-0.
JP, this is very encouraging for the U.S., obviously, because, as we said earlier, there were a lot of emotions going into this game, and it looks as though they have channeled them in the right direction.
Well, part of it might be a win it for Anson.
Exactly. That's exactly what the players have to be feeling.
And to repeat that earlier story, Anson Dorrance earlier this week announced his resignation. We chatted with him prior to the game. You'll hear that conversation, assuming you stick with us at halftime here on Prime. You're watching the Chiquita Cup 1994 version, along with Wendy Gabarra, a former member of this USA national team. I'm John Paul Della Camera. It's the United States up 2-0 against Germany. Fawcett has a pass blocked on the right side. Germany will take it back. They try to switch it into the middle. The intended receiver was Need. U.S. take it back. Rafanelli. Gabarra breaks for space, and Rafanelli was tripped, and some of these fouls are getting downright nasty by the German side. No chance at the ball, but we're not seeing any cards.
Bob.
Rafanelli is okay. Ball played in quickly to Lilly. Off the chest trap, couldn't get the shot away. Along the near side, Gabarra has it kicked away. And the USA will continue ball possession on this throw-in for Overbeck. And look at how far up Overbeck is as Lilly takes it deep. Try to cross it, and there'll be a goal kick coming up. I think one of the things that people are amazed at when they've never seen the women play, obviously the skill level, because they're surprised that women are as good as they are. But I think the thing that surprised me the most when I first did women's soccer was the physical play. I didn't know it was as rough as it was.
I think that surprises a lot of people, and actually for first-time viewers or people that are just tuning into women's soccer, it's a very attractive game, and people seem to be very pleased.
Germany will make a substitution. Dagmar Pullman will come in for Patricia Grigoli. Pretty much the same level of experience, but Grigoli's a goal scorer with really a goal-a-game clip, 14 goals in 14 appearances. Grigoli getting a rest here today. This is her first game of the Chiquita Cup, like it is for the United States team. And again, the USA will play China on Wednesday. Prime will be your home for the Chiquita Cup, so stick with us for another couple of games. Ball possession now belonging to the German side. A 2-0 lead for the USA. If you're just joining us, on the strength of goals by Mia Hamm and Michelle Akers-Stahl, who was later substituted for when Sarah Rafanelli came on. Remember, this is a tournament, and they're doing it like the World Cup. 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie. So after 90 minutes, if it is tied, each team gets a point. There is no overtime. This one played in deep, and Scurry made that one look scary.
She looked a little uneasy there. I think she felt the pressure of that oncoming forward, coming in behind her.
Meinert was very close to it as Brianna Scurry clears it. She had 37 shutouts in her collegiate career at the University of Massachusetts. At the halfway line, it's cleared up by the United States, intended for Mia Hamm. Unofficially, we've got about 5 minutes to go in an exciting, well-played first half. USA leading at 2-0. But you certainly can't say they're dominating. Germany should have had a goal, but Scurry made a great save. And we're going to see another German switch, and it's actually not a substitution. Voss is coming back in. I didn't see her go off. She was apparently injured, left the field, and has now gotten permission to come back from the referee. So Germany is back at full strength. Throw in on the far side. On the right, Foudy. And she'll get a corner kick out of it. USA has definitely had the edge in terms of corner kicks as we look at Bernhard defending. It's going to be a throw-in, actually, not a corner kick. Rafanelli. Bernhard in a battle there. One of many physical players on this German side, but so far the Germans haven't exploited their physical strength, but I think the USA have exploited their speed advantage.
They have, JP. The speed on this U.S. team is absolutely unbelievable. I think the U.S. was lucky there on that call. It looked like the Germans had broken through.
Ready for the free kick for the United States as we near the end of this first half of play. A 2-0 lead for the United States against Germany in this first Chiquita Cup here on Prime. Long on the free kick, and it looked like Venturini just fell down on her own inside the 18. So it'll be a goal kick coming up for Germany, who would like nothing better than to get a goal here before the half comes to an end. The danger, though, is falling behind 3-0 against this USA team with still another half to play.
It'd be very tough to come back from. But I've never seen the Germans give up in any game that they've played in.
Right at the halfway line. On the right side.
What time is it, Tony?
It is number 14, Austermuhl. Inside the area. The number 15 player, Pullman, with a bending shot, and Scurry makes a nice save. Scurry ready to put it back in play. Time running out in this first half. The Germans would like to get one for momentum's sake here at halftime or before the half comes to a close, but the U.S. threatening for another. On the left, that's Mia Hamm in the one-on-one against Bernhard, who's been all over defensively. This time she's on the right side. On the last sequence, we saw her on the left. Overbeck going forward more now with that 2-0 lead.
She's a real leader out of the back, JP. She will probably move forward all day. Actually, Dorns has put that into her game as a new style.
Germany will take it back. Need, the number 10 player, giving it up to Voss. The defense collapsing on it, forcing the bad pass, but then a giveaway, and a deflected shot goes out. Should be a corner, and it's the right call. Shot was taken by the number 14 player, Austermuhl. Corner kick coming up. USA looking strong with that 2-0 lead. People always say, though, that's the worst lead in soccer, 2-0, indoors or outdoors.
One goal and it's a whole new game.
Yeah, but you'd still rather have that lead than be down by 2. But
that's right.
You see it time and time again. Ready for the corner for Germany, and that was Mia Hamm in there to head it out. Everyone thinking defensively now for the United States. We've got a player down for Germany. That's Bornschein, still down. Top of the arc, headed out. That was Roberts getting in that battle. Bernhard right at the halfway line, going long. Intended for Meinert, and the foul is called on Germany as we are into the final minute of play in this first half. United States leading it by a 2-0 score. Mia Hamm and Michelle Akers-Stahl are your goal scorers if you're just joining us. We'll get a look at those goals later on. At halftime, a lot coming your way, including an interview with the head coach of this team, Anson Dorrance, who guided this team to the 1991 Women's World Championship. Lilly gives it back to Fawcett. Lilly again for Gabarra. Made a nice fake to get around her defender. And now the foul is going the other way. We're getting close to the end of regulation time. We may have some injury time here, but I wouldn't expect much at all in this first half. Germany working it out of the back. Near the halfway line on the turnaround. That's Bornschein giving it up on the left. Missing on the tackle was Overbeck. And Staples comes back to cover for her. Down to the left side. It is knocked out. They'll gladly give up a throw-in.
Again, that's Robertson there with her speed tracking all the way back on defense to pick up that free man.
And an offside flag goes up. When Overbeck goes forward, if she does make a mistake, and it's going to happen during the game, it's important somebody covers, and this team seems to have that down pat because Staples was right there sweeping when Overbeck went forward.
Exactly, and I think she feels very comfortable having Joy Fawcett back there too.
We're into injury time by nearly a minute. They're not giving that a throw, and that was a foul on that far side, so it's a free kick coming up. Ball is played long, and maybe that's it. That is it. The 3 whistles and a very nice first half for the United States women's team.
They've got to be real happy, JP, coming into this game, as we said earlier, you know, with the late news of Coach Dorrance resigning, and looks like they're playing for Coach Dorrance, maybe really getting the game to come together for him.
Well, the first person that scored was his UNC forward, Mia Hamm. She scores in the 14th minute. Michelle Akers-Stahl in the 30th minute. We'll come back and recap it right here at George Mason. Stay with us on Prime.
At this year's World Cup, every match was big news. That's why the World Cup Committee turned to Sprint's global network. So reporters at the games could instantly access information and send it to fans in 143 countries around the world, just as they saw it.
A penalty! I can't believe it. Buonissima. It's a deplorable decision.
Of course, how they saw it is another story.
Fundamentals to fantastic and amazing trick shots. 2 of America's favorite instructional videos are now available only through this special TV offer. Get tips from Steve Vizerac, Johnny Archer, Ava Mataya, and other pool greats. Now, for a limited time, you can order both videos for the price of one. Learn the secrets of breaks, banks, defense, position, angles, and trick shots like the Massey and the jump.
Take it from me, The Miz. When you purchase Fundamentals to Fantastics and amazing trick shots, you can learn everything you need to know about how to shoot pool like a pro, except how to be me.
World champion Steve Vizerac takes you through the best ways to improve your game. Call the number on your screen and we'll send you this wonderful 2-video cassette collection for just $19.95 plus postage and handling.
2 for the price of 1. How can you go wrong?
These videos have never been offered together and are only being offered for a limited time. Call now. Have your credit card ready. An operator is waiting for your call. Call now. Sorry, no CODs.
The second commercial-free half of this Chiquita Cup match is being brought to you by the Energizer. It keeps going and going and going. By JVC, the inventor of VHS. By Toys R Us, the world's biggest toy store. By Sunny Delight, the good stuff kids go for. And by GM Pontiac, the GM MasterCard is a proud sponsor of the 1994 U.S. World Cup team.
And
welcome back, everyone. We're here at halftime, USA versus Germany, along with Wendy Gabarra. I'm John Paul Della Camera. We have Michelle Akers-Stahl with us, and I guess we may as well ask you first why you were brought out, because everyone here seemed to be a little bit surprised.
Yeah, not a surprise to us. We planned it. I have Epstein-Barr virus, a chronic virus I've been battling since the '91 World Cup. So I'm just going to try to get through this month, qualify for the World Cup, and then I'm on a 2-3 month vacation.
What does this illness do, and how does it affect you, and how do you try to cope with it?
Well, the slang for Epstein-Barr virus is mono. So I've had mononucleosis, and all it does is drain you of energy. It makes you have flu-like symptoms. So I really, really have to conserve my energy when I'm away from the field here. I sleep 4 or 5 hours a day, 12 hours at night, and then I try to conserve my energy just to play on the field.
Michelle Akers-Stahl is our guest here at halftime. It's a 2-0 lead for the United States against Germany. When we come back, we'll chat with her coach, Anson Dorrance. Stay with us on Prime.
Usually I take 2 at a time, but not on Mondays.
Every morning, this is how Julie Fernando gets to work. She does it to feel better.
This is my version of a stair machine.
Eating a Chiquita banana every morning also makes her feel better. With vitamin C, potassium, and almost no fat, it helps her conquer all the day's ups and downs.
Who says you can't climb your way to the top in a day?
Chiquita bananas, quite possibly the world's perfect food.
When I became my own boss, I also became my own employee. So now he tells me to make coffee, open the mail, make sure the copier's working. So I checked around and people said get a Canon personal copier. Canon has a unique single cartridge that contains the toner, developer, drum, and virtually all the moving parts. Change the cartridge and it's like getting a new copier. Buying it was such a good idea, I took him to lunch.
Canon personal copiers. Call 1-800-4321-HOP.
They don't play kick the can like you used to. They don't dress the same way. They learned to read 3 years before you did. They've never owned a record. So why are you taking pictures of them with the same old film? Try Fujicolor Super G film. Because your pictures should be nostalgic. Your film shouldn't.
Welcome back, everyone, to the campus of George Mason University. I'm John Paul Della Camera. We get a chance to talk with the head coach. He's still the head coach of the U.S. women's national team, Anson Dorrance. But, Anson, you made some big news this week. How about telling us officially the reasons why?
Well, the evolution of our game requires a full-time national coach, and we've been going in that direction for a while, and it's been outstanding. Now's the time. They need a full-time coach, and I don't want to coach full-time. I love coaching at the University of North Carolina. I love the young women I get to train there and that environment. And it's time for a new energy, a new direction. I also feel that 9 years in one position at this level is too long. I've been selling people on the fact we should stay in these positions like 3 or 4 years. And I tried to resign before the World Cup to coincide with the conclusion of it, and they didn't accept it. But now I feel good about it. I feel tremendous about my successor, Tony DiCicco. He's an outstanding coach, and he's proven himself to me and to the players in the team, and this is the way we should go.
How does the transition work now? Because you'll be coaching today and through Montreal, but how much responsibility goes Tony's way, and how do you delegate?
Well, basically, I've given him as much responsibility as I can. Obviously, I'm here because we're still playing my system, and I'm assisting him with that. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a chance for him to get involved, to have a different perspective. As he says, to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and wonder if he's made some good decisions. And basically I'm helping him. Officially, I'm the head coach through this, but this is Tony's chance to get involved with the team as the head coach.
Anson, how does the focus change now in terms of Tony taking over? You still have to qualify for 95, although everyone expects you to do that. But how does that change starting with the Chiquita Cup?
Well, the Chiquita Cup is our preparation for World Cup qualifying. Even though these games are significant games and the attendance, as you can see up here, is going to be outstanding, we're not going to go into these games with a win-at-all-costs attitude. We're going to preserve our players. We're going to taper them into CONCACAF because that's our priority. Our priority is to re-qualify for the World Cup, and these games are going to help us.
One more question. I can't let you go without talking about North Carolina. 12 titles in 13 years. What kind of a team are you going to have this year?
Well, we've got a good team coming back. You know, we have to reconstruct our forward line because we lost Mia Hamm and Rita Tower, two tremendous players, but also Kristen Aquavella up front and Megan Doherty. So we lost some players up front, and we got to reconstruct a bit. I'm excited by it, so I'm looking forward to the fall.
That means we'll see him again in the championship game. You can just about count on it. All right, thanks to Anson Dorrance, and congratulations on a job well done with the women's national team. We'll come back with more action here on Prime. This is the Chiquita Cup.
There is only one total body fitness machine that gives you a complete aerobic workout while stretching and toning all large muscles at the same time. There is only one fitness machine that is whisper quiet and totally non-impact. This is it. There is only one fitness machine recommended by fitness expert Covert Bailey to burn fat, lose weight, and keep it off. This is it. If you're looking for the best time to take action, get off the diet merry-go-round, lose weight, and keep it off, this is it.
Call now for your free video and brochure.
If you think you play like this, but you really play like this, you need help. You need Leslie Nielsen, star of the new home video Bad Golf Made Easier.
Billy, the reason the game is called golf is because all the other four-letter words have been taken.
Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier teaches you the fundamentals.
Always remember, the only really useful tip in golf is the one you give to the starter.
Secrets the pros won't tell.
Never use the comb in the blue fluid.
And how to play the problem lie. It's the smash hit home video. Call now to order Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier.
What is our credo?
We don't play golf to feel bad.
We play bad golf, but feel good.
Call now to order Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier, only $19.98. This video makes the perfect gift. Rush delivery available. Call 1-800-522-5333.
Welcome back, everyone, here at halftime. Time for our Budweiser halftime report, being brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, and natural. Proud to be your Bud. Highlight time with the United States leading 2-0. We're going to show you how they did it.
We'll take a look at the goals here. Lily's got the ball, and she finds Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm through and finds Tisha Venturini. She continues on her run. Tisha beats a man there, and Mia's wide open in the box. Look at the composure here, and she just slots it. The keeper's way off her line, slots it low on the left. And here we have Michelle's goal. Christine Lilly makes a dummy run over, but the wall doesn't move at all. Unbelievable shot by Michelle Akers-Stahl. Upper 90. There's nothing the keeper can do on this, as she's totally screened out by the wall.
That's it for our Budweiser halftime report, being brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, and natural. Proud to be your Bud. Halftime, the United States leading over Germany by a 2-0 score. Your goal scorers, Mia Hamm in the 14th minute of play from Venturini, and then Michelle Akers-Stahl off of that direct free kick in the 30th minute of play. We'll look at halftime stats. The shots surprisingly even at 6. Give Scurry 5 saves, 3 for Goller. Corner kicks were 4-1 for the United States. A little bit physical out there. 18 fouls in the first half, and the offsides were minimal. Saw a couple of changes in that first half of play. Substitution-wise, we may see more in the second half, but we still have another half to go. United States are leading it by a 2-0 score. Michelle Akers-Stahl is our guest here at halftime, and we're looking at a sellout crowd here, and we're admiring your last goal. I likened it to a Stoichkov goal in the World Cup off the wall, although as I recall, he shot it with his left foot. What are you thinking when that's going on, and what did you see before the shot's taken? Tell us through that.
Well, actually, I've been practicing that shot for about 6 months straight, and Tony DiCicco has been helping me. So I hear him yelling my cues from the sideline, and I did exactly as what I was supposed to visualize, my little self-talk, and boom, right over the wall into the corner of the goal. So I was psyched. That's why I went over there and gave him a kiss.
Well, I didn't see that part of it, but you were talking with Tony DiCicco. Now he's going to become the coach of the national team. What effect did this have? I know that Anson's relationship with his players is very special, both in North Carolina and also with the women's national team. How did the players take it?
Shocked. He just walked into our meeting, announced his resignation, and he was very emotional. A lot of us were crying. Anson was crying. It was touching, and I respect him for how he did it. But most of all, I'm happy for him because he's making a good decision for himself. I mean, there's only so much one man can do, and we're happy with Tony and Lori, who will be taking us through the next World Cup and hopefully through the Olympic Games in '96.
Tell us about the qualification. Everyone expects you to qualify now. I think before '91, people weren't quite sure how good you were. Now they know. Is that more pressure on you, even though 2 teams qualify?
No, not more pressure. I think we have high standards for ourselves and higher than anyone else could put on us. So this Chiquita Cup tournament is a preparation for a CONCACAF coming up in Montreal mid-August, where we have 4 matches, and they're taking 2 teams from our region. So we're hoping to be one of those 2 teams.
While you're talking to us, we're admiring your goal again on the replay. We may see that a lot in the highlights tonight. That's a great goal for you. We're talking about the Chiquita Cup. You have 3 teams besides yourselves. What is it like now with the preparation for this women's team? The Men's World Cup was a great success. Now it's your turn. How do you feel about the way you're qualifying and the games that are coming up, Chiquita and the qualifications, all that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was at most of the World Cup games for the men, and I have taken a lot from their tournament into ours. So it was a perfect send-off for us. I mean, how much inspiration do you need to come off watching Brazil win and all those wonderful players, and now we have a chance to hopefully duplicate the same thing.
We're looking at the schedule. The Chiquita Cup games coming up on Prime include the one on Wednesday and then the one on the 7th. What can you tell us about the China team that's going to be coming up Wednesday at Rutgers? They just beat Norway 3-2.
Yeah, tough team. Quick, physical, experienced now. I think we had a little bit of more experience when we played them in the past, but now they've been training tough, and I'm really looking forward to that match. It should be a great game.
Okay, we're going to keep you up here for a few minutes as we get ready to start the second half. I had asked Wendy this question, and she didn't have the answer for it, or I think she did. How do you replace Michelle Akers-Stahl? I think she really indicated that you really don't. Now, how do you see that when you come out? That's your former teammate here.
Well, it's a different style. They look to me as a target player, and they bounce things off through me in the middle. Because of my size and strength, I can hold the ball a bit more. With Sarah Rafanelli in there, we're going to have to, I think, play a bit quicker, play 1 and 2 touch, not can move, and try to keep the ball away from the Germans more.
Wendy's second half strategy, a 2-0 lead. How does the U.S. play it?
I think they continue what they're doing, JP.
Two to nothing, United States are leading. Hamm in the 14th minute of play and Michelle Akers-Stahl in the 30th minute of play, and she is up here with us right now. You know, Michelle, we were talking before about Bernhard being one of the better defenders out there. How would you rate her? That was the number 2 player that seemed to give you a few licks out there.
I have her tattoos on the back of my legs. Yes, she's tough. I was trying to play her, just hold the ball and lean up against her, and hopefully she would be a bit too aggressive and foul me. I didn't get as much fouls as I wanted, though, but I got 1, and that was enough for a goal.
If she comes up here and looks to kick you, we're going to have to get out of the way. Anouschka Bernhard, who plays for FSV Frankfurt. 5 players representing that club team are on this national team. And now finally the U.S. women's team comes out there. We talked about the humidity out there, and now the sun is coming out strong. How difficult are the conditions out there? The field looks great, but what about the heat and humidity?
Yeah, field's beautiful. It is hot. It's really warm. I mean, I haven't stopped sweating since I walked off the field. So we're just trying to drink a lot of water, rest when it's possible. And, you know, but of course the conditions are same for the Germans. So it's equal.
Second half kickoff. We're getting ready for it. Rafanelli over the ball, along with Mia Hamm. Mia scoring 1 goal, Michelle Akers-Stahl the other. And now it is Germany that must come back from a 2-0 hole, or else the United States will be tied with China at the top of the Chiquita Cup standings. This would give them 3 points, assuming they hold on and win this match.
JP, it looks like we have a new face in the U.S. defense. Linda Hamilton has come in this second half for Joy Fawcett.
What does that change do, Michelle?
Well, Joy just had a baby, so she's not quite as fit as she usually is. She's usually one of the fittest players on our team, but Hamilton is a veteran defender and will come in and do a really nice job. I think the German forward should be fairly intimidated by her because she's really aggressive.
She's coming off an injury with her knee, isn't she, Michelle?
Actually, I thought she was healthy. She came in late to camp because some job obligations, but she's been healthy and playing well in practice.
Right side of the field, Lilly will pick it up with a 2-0 lead, looking for someone loose up front. Good second effort, but it's taken away by the German side. Near the halfway line, Rafanelli got a piece, Staples the rest. The Germans try to break this one up, and now they do with Fitschen. We should be spending more time, maybe, Michelle, talking about the number 5 player, Tiffany Roberts. How does someone that's still in high school even make this team?
I know. Does she even have her driver's license yet?
I don't know.
This girl has so much talent, really quick, very fit, so poised for this kind of pressure. And we're going to see a lot of her as the tournament goes on and into CONCACAF and then into the World Cup after we qualify.
Well set. Here's Lilly into the box, and a Rafanelli shot was stopped, but the linesman had the flag up anyway. Would not have counted, would have been an offside. We'd like to thank Michelle Akers-Stahl, because since she told us about that illness and needing rest, we want to get you out of here and get you safe. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thank you.
Michelle Akers-Stahl, our guest, she had scored the 2nd goal. The goal that made it a 2-0 game for the United States women against Germany. And we're here in the second half of play, into the 3rd minute. Total sunlight now covering the field, so it's going to get hotter out there. Perhaps an advantage to the United States side against the German side that shouldn't be as used to this kind of heat.
JP, again, we see Julie Foudy trying to play make out of the midfield, looking for the ball early. Christine Lilly is just unstoppable. She never stops working on the left midfield, number 13.
Germany will take it back. The number 10 players need. Trying to come back from a 2-0 deficit. It's a small hill right now, but it could become a huge mountain the longer this game goes on without Germany scoring, or if the U.S. scores again. On the right, the German attack bills outside of the 18. Need was open, but they don't give the ball. Voss held it too long. Augenthaler giving it up. Bornschein gave it right back. Number 15, Pullman. On the cross to a late breaking player. That was Need as the trailer. She wasn't picked up, but fortunately for the United States, she didn't get a good shot away.
Looks like the U.S. needs to tighten up a little bit back in the defense here. They're still getting the jitters out first 5 minutes of the game.
Scurry will clear it long. She was fairly busy in that first half of play, especially when you consider that her team had that 2-0 lead. Made a couple of very interesting saves. Her best went on Meinert in a one-on-one situation when the score was 1-0 U.S.
That's right, JP. Coach DiCicco, when he talks about Brianna, talks about her pure athleticism, that we haven't seen a keeper come out of the U.S. in a while that has that athleticism.
Scurry listed only 5'8". On the left side, Bornschein on the dribble. A lot of room there. Shot taken that was blocked. There's a chance, and Scurry was right there. Play continuing. I looked for a flag. There was none. So again, Scurry with a great reaction.
She is coming up big every time today, JP.
She's working on that shutout as she clears it upfield. She's from Dayton, Minnesota. All the way back. Fitschen chasing it, lets it go out. Be a throw-in coming up for Germany as we watch Scurry in action.
Again, we see the replay here. Heidi gets through, Moore gets through, and Brianna stops that. And another angle here. Oh, great save.
Back on live action, there is Brianna Scurry, 22 years of age, just coming back from the 1994 Olympic Festival team. The United States looking for this ball in the offensive end, and now it's taken away by Germany. It's a 2-0 lead for the United States. We're into the 6th minute of play of the second half, along with Wendy Gabarra, former member of this 91 championship team. I'm John Paul Della Camera. 9 players from 91 are still with this team.
We're still seeing high pressure here, JP, from the U.S. forward line.
Throw-in coming up on that far side, and we're going to see another substitution for Germany. Birgitt Prinz, number 17, is going to check in for Heidi Moore, who has been more of a disappointment, but I'm not so sure it's her as opposed to a United States defense that was ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Substitution for Germany in the 51st minute.
Very shocked that she's being taken out of the game.
Is number 17.
I mean, if they need goals, you would think it would come from her.
She's had a lot of chances, and actually on that last save by Brianna, she doesn't usually miss those, so maybe she's not quite up to par.
Mia Hamm getting through, and couldn't get a good shot away. It was partially blocked. Out of play it goes. Corner kick coming up for the United States to add to their totals from the first half. Mia Hamm opened the scoring in the 14th minute. A workhorse. She is used to playing full 90s at North Carolina. Set the career record for assists with 56. Ready for the corner kick. Karen Gabarra. She's been taking them all today. This right footer is an in-swinger, headed out. Not out of danger yet. Overbeck's shot almost tipped. And cleared back the other way. Minor can't find it. Everyone getting a chance at this one. Overbeck missing on that gamble. All the way to the far side.
Again, you see the tenacity of Hamilton there. She doesn't give her mark any time.
Oh! And Minor was brought down just outside of the area. That was Overbeck. You talked about Hamilton. She has come back from 2 reconstructive left knee surgeries, so that tells you something about her as a player. Still wanting to come out and play when others have retired.
Exactly. She's got that desire. She still has it. You got to give her credit for coming back from those injuries.
Down the right sideline for Karen Gabarra. She did great if she kept that one in. I wasn't so sure from this angle she did. That's a great job. Bornschein will come back the other way for Germany in the 8th minute of play. Scurry will get it back from Staples. Here in the second half of play, the United States leading Germany. There's Prinz, who came on in the second half as a substitution. This is only her 2nd game. She scored in her first game against Canada earlier this week. A 2-1 win north of the border. A tune-up for this Chiquita Cup. On the left side, Bornschein cutting it back. Into the middle it goes. Number 10 is Sylvia Need, trying to get around Venturini, who fouled her. They look for the quick restart. There it is. Oh, it's intended as Staples got in that collision. It was intended for the number 17 player, Prinz. It's not a good way to get into the lineup to get whacked like that.
I guess that's her welcome to the game. This is a very, here again we see it. Quick counter through ball, and I think that could have gone either way, JP.
The wall being set up includes about 6 players right now, and now they're breaking it up. 3 players over the ball, and you're hearing the voices to pick up 17. That's where they think it may be going. Voss, number 11, over the ball. Minor there as well. So is Need. It's Minor right off the wall. Need the shot and puts it over the bar. So after all of that, they get nowhere.
Not quite like Akers-Stahl, free kick.
They weren't watching like we were at halftime. Need, though, can get the job done. 37 goals for her in this her 82nd game. Sylvia Need, 30 years of age, the oldest player on this team.
One thing that Coach Dorrance tries to harp upon is no fouls anywhere within the 25 yards from the goal. So both Overbeck and Doris can't be too happy about that foul.
Speaking of the man, you'll be talking with him when this game is over. We'll hopefully get a comment or two from him. He will coach this team right through the qualification games in Montreal, and then it becomes Tony DiCicco's team. But as Anson was saying at halftime, it's really becoming that now. The transition is taking place. Mia Hamm going along. Gabarra chasing it. Well positioned by the goalkeeper, Goller. When you come out that far, you've got to win it as a keeper.
She did a good job there to win that ball. That was a great ball by Mia Hamm. She bent it away from the keeper coming out. It was just a little bit long. Again, we see it here. Gabarra is just a couple feet away from it.
Jennings was her old name, right?
That's right.
That's an easy one to do. She's a head coach at the Naval Academy. So many of these players are now coaches or assistant coaches on quality programs in this country.
Here we see Rafanelli going back into the defense to make it happen.
Up near the halfway line, Germany will take it back. We're in the 11th minute of play. Second half, a 2-0 USA lead. Hamm and Stahl are your goal scorers, and almost picked off at his near side. That was the speedy player, Roberts. Here's Prince, number 17 for the Germans. Oh, was that a foul? That was Linda Hamilton. She is, in a word, aggressive.
She's making her mark on the game, JP.
On the right side, here's a chance, and that's blocked. The kick taken by Fitschen. Cleared up by Venturini. Tough tackle on that right sideline. Voss will take it. Very tireless performer, number 11 Voss for Germany. Now played inside, and it's cut off at the last moment by Overbeck. On the clear up the right side, they look for Gabarra, and it's tackled out by Austermuhl. Gabarra on the throw-in, blocked away from Foudy. And now it's taken back by Need. Sylvia Need to the right side for Meinert. Into the 18 goes Meinert, looking for a chance to cross, and she does, but put it behind her attacking player.
Yes, nice play. Nice play, 15.
The U.S. team that time had 6 players inside their own 18-yard box area.
They did good to get back there on defense. They still need to be settling into these couple new players in the lineup. It seems to be taking them a little bit longer than I would thought.
Bernhard giving it up. Coleman. Near side pass. Bornschein was cracked there.
Great pressure by Roberts.
Not at all in awe of being where she is. On the throw-in, and the linesman on this near side indicates that it went out of play. Any surprises for you here in the second half, the way the game has gone? We're approaching the 14th minute. It's still a U.S. 2-0 lead, but certainly they don't look as fluid.
Well, we talked earlier about how the Germans never give up, and this is a credit to them. They're down 2-0 at halftime. They know they have to come out and approach it as a new game.
On the left side, Bornschein giving it up into the middle. Coleman knocking it ahead. It's still very physical out there at George Mason's home field university. This is a great campus. Rafanelli knocking it back. Venturini looking. The Germans don't seem at all bothered by the heat. I think they're getting stronger. Here's Miner. A right-footed shot goes wide of Scurry. I'm surprised at the way Germany has come out so strong in this second half.
They really have. I think we need to look to Overbeck to try and settle them down a little bit and get into their style here. Again, a great move there by the German forward. She breaks through and actually has a lot of time. That's Meinert, has a lot of time for a shot.
Scurry will kick this one near the halfway line. It gets there on a bounce. USA leading at 2-0. If you're just joining us, Hamm and Stahl were your goal scorers, and all the action of this 1994 Chiquita Cup coming to you through Prime. Along with Wendy Gabarra, a former member of this team, I'm John Paul Della Camera. Thanks for joining us today for women's soccer as they take center stage after what most people feel was the greatest ever World Cup. Free kick coming up for Germany. Into the 15th minute of play of the second half. The United States leading at 2-0. Ball is sent all the way to the far side for Voss. And that ball goes out of play.
JP, we haven't seen Christine Lilly, number 13, involved in much of the play. I think the U.S. needs to change the point of the attack through Foudy and Venturini and find her, get her up into the offense.
Ball is played long, and the offside flag went up, and that one didn't look offside from here. Even is okay with the last defender. How did it look to you?
Very close. Obviously, the fans didn't think she was off.
Such a hard thing to do when it's that close, too. But the linesman never hesitated. Flag went right up. Here's Hamm on the left. On the far side, Fitschen. Mia Hamm does not have great size, but she's tough to knock off the ball. And we've got a player down now for Germany. Believe it's Fitschen. Number 8 player you're looking at is Linda Hamilton, who started off at North Carolina State and then went to her rivals, UNC, where she won a championship, like everyone else did there, and still does. We talked about Anson Dorrance. He won 12 championships in 13 years. This was the field that he lost it on. George Mason University beat them. 1985, there's Anson. Were you on that team?
I sure was,
Way
JP.
back there, you remember it?
Yeah, freshman. I was a freshman that year.
Everybody else remembered it. They never lost a championship game after that. It's a dynasty.
Actually, we came back here that next year and were able to get the title back.
Staples will clear it up the right side. Foudy on the give and go from Roberts, knocked away, but Roberts recovers. Tiffany Roberts has it knocked out of play. She goes to Carondelet High School in California. And we're going to see a substitution. Tiffany Milbrett from the University of Portland will come on for Tiffany Roberts. Roberts did well today.
They're moving Mia Hamm back to the right midfield spot.
For the United States in the 62nd minute mark.
So Tiffany Roberts gets some game time experience today. This was her 7th full international. And now she gets to sit and watch. And again, when you make substitutions on this team, it's hard to fault them. This is a University of Portland player that was the 2nd leading goal scorer in the nation in '92. Throw in coming up. Taken by Hamm, and then it's knocked away.
In the '91 World Cup, Hamm played right midfield the majority of the time.
Gabarra looking. There's the double team. She almost beat it on the dribble, and she did get a corner out of it.
Looks like Karen's enjoying that there.
It's great to see players smile because you know they're enjoying the game. You like to see the game face, but it's good to see a little break at times. Corner kick, Gabarra continuing to take them. In the 19th minute of play, second half, 2-0, USA leading it. Gabarra striking it into the middle, headed down, and that one had to hurt. That was Venturini, and I'm surprised she's bouncing up as quickly as she did.
Venturini is one of the best headers in the college game, if not the best now. Again, we see the replay there.
Finishing touch on that as that one went out of play. Venturini from Modesto, California. Came back from a broken leg in 1993 and played in the tournament of the ACC and was the MVP. Mia Hamm may find a little more space. We may see her more on the ball in the latter stages of this half. Throw in coming up for Germany. Austermuhl will take it. Continues to heat up here at George Mason. The sunlight now once again covering the full length of the field. It's a nice smooth surface. Foudy to Rafanelli. Sarah Rafanelli, number 7, looking to clear it ahead, and did, but off an awkward touch, if you will, for Venturini.
Venturini had more time than she thought there, maybe, but it was a tough ball to handle. A lot of pace on that.
Granted, Wendy, this is only game 1 of this Chiquita Cup. They still have the qualification games, but how many spots in terms of starters do you think this team is playing for? Where is this team at as they go to qualify?
Well, I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, there's 8 players, or 8 or 9 in the starting lineup that were at the 91 Cup. So there's a couple spots that they're vying for. Obviously, one of interest is the keeper position, which Brianna's doing a real good job with.
So it's a pretty settled lineup, you would think. I mean, they still have time to make changes if they want, and barring injury, you think that we might have been looking at the starting 11 or very close to it?
I think so, and hopefully, obviously, Akers-Stahl is missed up top here. We're seeing it in the second half. Hopefully, she's going to be back healthy real soon.
Well, besides what it takes away from the United States offense, look what it does to the defense. Obviously, without them having to worry about her, they're going forward more.
Exactly. It puts their minds at rest a little bit more, I would think, coming out of the back.
We were surprised when she came out. The Germans were just happy. Throw-in coming up for Voss on the far sideline. Again, we remind you, stick with us at the close of the game. We'll try to get Anson Doran's comments. Right now, his team is up 2-0. Second half of play in the 21st minute with Wendy Gabarra. I'm John Paul Della Camera. Germany in the green and white uniforms. USA in predominant white. On the left side, the Germans look to break it out with Pullman. And ball possession will go the other way.
Very rarely do you see a German player with the ball at her feet and no less than 2 U.S. players coming up on her.
This was a good test for the United States. Their first game of the Chiquita Cup. They'll take on a China team that defeated Norway 3-2 this past Friday night in game 1 of the Chiquita Cup. And that game will be played in Rutgers, New Jersey. And obviously the United States comes in as a favorite in this tournament. We'll see how well they do, though, because everyone always goes and guns for the top gun.
Exactly, and a very surprising result in the first Chiquita Cup game. Norway losing to China 3-2.
Well, if anyone was going to take China lightly, they won't now. Here's Gabarra looking to cross it. Not only does she take the corners, she's getting most of them. She's setting them up. Tireless worker, Karen Gabarra. Scored 6 goals in the Women's 91 Championship, which normally makes you a cult hero, but she had to deal with Michelle Akers-Stahl scoring 10.
And actually, in the game in the 91 World Cup against Germany, Karen had a hat trick in that game.
Gabarra is ready. 36 goals and 68 appearances. This is her 69th game. On the corner, headed down, wide to the far side. But again, that was Venturini. She won that ball. And this one goes out of play on the far sideline. There'll be a throw-in coming up. Milbrett on the lob. It was intended for Foudy. Never reached her. That was Lilly working hard. And continues to work hard. Right idea, but a good defensive play by the number 3 player, Nardenbach. And this one again goes out. The United States will have ball possession. We've gone by 23 minutes here of the second half. The United States leading it 2-0. Here's Lilly. On the turnaround with a chance. And off a tough play inside the box. They're going to say the defender got all ball, apparently. And now on the right side, we've got Hamm, and that one wasn't all ball. Or didn't look it. We've still got a player down as play continues. We'll bring in Wendy Gabarra in a moment as Julie Foudy is down. I had thought the second one was worse than the first one because I heard what I thought was ball contact in the first one.
Here we see the replay again. Foudy's in the box there. Oh,
that wasn't. There was no ball.
Looks like she may really be hurt. Hopefully she's okay there.
I think what I heard was the body and not the ball on that first one. Second one was not as bad as the first one. But it's a quick game. I think the referee's position from where she is coming from probably thinks that that ball was kicked. Sometimes you can be too close to the play, but Foudy is fortunately okay.
The U.S. can't afford not to have her playmaking abilities in the midfield at this point.
I can't recall the last good United States chance at goal, and granted, Michelle Akers-Stahl has been out, but certainly there's enough talent out there to spread it around. But you've got to give a lot of credit to the German side. Certainly when they went down 2-0, their heads could have dropped. Instead, they came out strong here. Gabarra trying to play it across, and it's cleared up. Prinz was the intended receiver. Nardenbach with some help from Bernhard. Back to the halfway line for Mia Hamm. Overbeck to Hamm. She can drive it as long as anyone. This one was too deep and caught by the goalkeeper. She was looking for Foudy. When you think about Mia Hamm, you remember the great goals she scores, but again, she's a career assist leader. She can pass as well as anyone, long or short. The United States will have the ball in the 26th minute of play of the second half. Again, Wednesday, they'll take on China in a battle, which should be a battle, for sole possession of first place of the Chiquita Cup. Each would have 3 points, assuming the U.S. wins this one, and right now they're leading 2-0. Minor couldn't get to that as Overbeck clears it for Lilly. Christine Lilly is from Wilton, Connecticut. Cleared it up the left side. Looking to get some numbers forward, put it in a space, and still going now to Rafanelli. Rafanelli, they got the advantage call, and then it was tackled away and cleared. She had Gabarra to the right, and it's easy to second guess, but I was thinking that ball should have been pushed wide right side.
That was a great individual effort by Milbrett to get it in the box in the first place.
Rafanelli, we'll see her again.
We'll see it here. There's Milbrett. At this point, she's already beaten 2 or 3 players, lays the ball off across the box, and for some reason, Rafanelli doesn't want to find Gabarra on that.
Straight up the middle, this is Foudy. Julie Foudy, hails from Laguna Niguel, California. Foudy again to the right side for Gabarra. Nice turn to receive that ball. Good effort there on the tackle, too, by 14 Austermuhl, but Gabarra did well just to receive it. Coming up in Montreal, Jamaica and Canada in Montreal. These are qualification games. Remember, 2 teams from CONCACAF go on. It would be a huge, huge upset, maybe even a miracle, if the United States didn't qualify. Everyone is expecting them to. If you're in the Montreal area, you may want to look into watching them play up there. Goal kick coming up for Goller. Sent back the other way. They look for Rafanelli. And this one will go wide of goal. Remember, it's 3 points for a win in this Chiquita Cup, so if the United States can hold on, they'll be tied with China with 3. And Norway and Germany would each have no points. Goller ready to put it in play. Hamm heads it back upfield for Rafanelli. Nice touch, a deft touch. There's Venturini holding with a lob shot, and that one goes wide. It looked like the U.S. should have done better, but we saw a great pass that was left for the shooter.
That's right, JP. Venturini saw the keeper off the line, and she was trying to find a chip shot over the far post.
There's the interception by Foudy, and she'll shoot right away towards that far post. It goes wide of goal. Goal kick coming up.
Again, we see Julie Foudy dominating in the midfield. She's one of the best players with best technical speed of anybody.
She's an underrated player as well, because how do you get attention with all the stars on this team, even though she's a bona fide All-American? Goller. Not quite the way she wanted to send that up, but possession is maintained by the Germans. USA still leading it by a 2-0 score. They're starting to open it up a little bit more and find some more space offensively, but maybe the Germans are finally getting tired. Here's Hamm. No tiredness there. She almost broke past 2 players. She'll get ball possession. The shots on or at goal are a little bit misleading. It's only a 1-shot edge. Gabarra may add to the totals. Right across over the bar, Milbrett. Again, that's her first touch. It's not a good one.
Gabarra was so composed on that. She wasn't really looking for a shot. She didn't have a shot, but she was, again, we see it here. Here she is. She's inside the box. She's penetrated in the box. Realizes she doesn't have a shot and just threads it through to Milbrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, today
another goal kick coming up. We're in the 30th minute of play. They've announced the attendance here today, over 5,700. It's great to see. It must be for you as a former member of this team, the way the women's game is being accepted. This is a sellout, and in fact, it's really standing room only, to be fair.
JP, it's truly tremendous. So women's soccer has come so far. We've seen it get better and better each year.
Something like this, the Chiquita Cup, probably not even on the drawing board as recently as a few years ago, but you should start seeing more of this now as the women's game tries to get their own foothold in America with a lot of things going on after the World Cup, the start of Major League Soccer, the women defending their title. It's a good time for soccer in this country, finally.
It sure is. This, too, is a first. It's being televised live.
Meinert will give it up. Looking for Prince. Look at this defensive work. A foul call, but Foudy actually draws that foul with her tenacity. U.S. leading it 2-0. Goals by Hamm in the 14th and Stahl in the 30th on a great direct free kick. We're going to see another substitution, it looks like. Monica Boll maybe coming in for Bornschein. Right now we've got a U.S. player, Venturini, coming to the sideline. Looks like she's pointing at her right wrist, but that's not the substitution we're talking about. This is Boll comes in, replacing Bornschein. And on the sideline, Venturini being tended to. As Milbrett plays it forward, that just missed Rafanelli's foot. Not only that, Lilly was busting free on the left. U.S. team, though, Wendy, they're looking now for more space, but I don't think they were doing that earlier.
Yeah, they are. They're settling in now. Hopefully we'll look to see Gabarra to net one.
She's worked hard enough to get one.
Yeah, she hasn't quit all game. She played high pressure all game.
Overbeck to Mia Hamm. That's as far back as we've seen her, at least offensively. We saw her make a diving header, defensive move in the first half. In the latter stages, we're going to see another substitution probably soon for Germany. Claudia Klein is getting ready, doing some stretching on this near sideline. Ball is played back to Scurry. Coaching staff is talking right now to Amanda Cromwell, so I'm wondering if we may not see her. Tony DiCicco had some words with her. There's Venturini. Can we see what this is?
Looks like maybe she might have dislocated her finger there.
It looked painful enough, but she's back out there after getting it bandaged. Voss chasing this ball, but it's going to go out. Last touch by the United States. Germany will have the ball in the 33rd minute of play of the second half, and the USA still leading it 2-0. This is the Chiquita Cup 1994 edition, hopefully the first of many, with 4 of the top 5 teams from the 1991 championship. Tar Heel talent, 8 players initially in the training camp, and surprisingly 3 were cut. So we have 5 today. We can add Anson Dortz as a coach, and my partner to the right. Once a Tar Heel, you're always a Tar Heel. Isn't that correct?
That's right, JP.
All the way back. On the attack, Germany. Knee. Here's some room and some help. Meinert holding. Oh, she tried to play it through. It was blocked, but here's a second chance. Right across for Need. Missed once, but does it in the second one. Need with a great goal. And now it's 2-1. Does this change the complexion of the game? That's a well-deserved goal.
This is a brand new ball game now, JP. We'll look to see Overbeck to get everybody together here.
Well, the U.S. was going to make a substitution. They're still going to go with that, so that goal does not affect things, but Need did well with that.
Again, we'll see it here. We have a nice cross pulled back across the box, and actually misplayed there at first, but then she gets another chance at it. It was unfortunate for the U.S. defense.
Yes. Well, the shutout is gone, but I don't think they're worried now about the shutout. It's the victory.
And we see another angle on this here from the keeper's perspective. The ball comes pulled back across. It looks as though Hamm might have just miscleared that.
Substitution for the United States.
The person that actually played the ball across was Boll. She just came on. That's her first touch, so it's a quality cross. Should have probably been finished off the first time by Need, but she stayed with it and scored. Cromwell goes in for Venturini. And I don't know whether that injury to her hand had anything to do with it, or that might have been a switch that was going to be made anyway. Because the hand doesn't bother you usually in soccer since you can't use it. Outside of the area.
Stop the ball.
Taken away. U.S. coming back. Over the halfway line. Putting it into another gear. Here they come. That's Milbrett. Trying to get her out of play. She does. The save is made by the keeper. And you saw how fast Milbrett was.
It's a great opportunity there by Milbrett. Very deceptive speed.
Tiffany Milbrett, of course, the advantage there. She's going up against somebody, Fitschen, who has played this entire match. When she went into a second gear, Fitschen could not. 36th minute of play. It's still a lead for the United States, but now it's 2-1. Lilly up the left sideline. There's Need, who scored the goal. It is her 38th career goal. I'll give Germany credit. They have worked hard this entire game. A 2-0 score certainly was misleading the way the stats were showing and the way the Germans came out in the second half. So you work hard, hopefully you're rewarded for it, and they were. But now the U.S. must certainly think about caution. With time running out, less than 10 minutes, the critical stages of the game. But this team is well prepared for that. Austermuhl. Broken up. Foudy gives it up into the middle. And it's tackled away from Gabarra. There's Hamm. Block. And it goes out of play.
You know, Cromwell has done really well in there so far in the midfield. She's won some good balls.
Here's that substitution. We talked about Claudia Klein will come in for Nardenbach. Unlike the World Cup, you can make more than the 2 substitutions, so you're allowed up to the 5. We're not at that stage yet.
Entering the game is number 13, Claudia Klein. Leaving the game, number 48,
There's the throw-in by Hamm. Settled by Milbrett. Tackled by Bull. Bull got some help. And now taken away by Minor. The newest player, Klein, plays it up to Minor again. Minor holding. Brought it inside, and then she was brought down. It's still loose. Voss was looking for it.
She was looking for the call there, JP, but it didn't seem to be much contact in there.
Well, that would have been a tough one if they had called a penalty kick there after one that got away for the U.S. at the other end. Here's Klein, lifting it inside for Minor, but Scurry is right there.
Again, we'll look at this foul here. And Overbeck comes over. Well, actually, that might have been a little bit of a shove there by Cromwell. The U.S. got lucky on that call.
The benefit of replay. Much worse there as Minor knows that she was probably wrong. That was a straight-arm push. So we're all even on penalty kicks that should have been called. It's a 2-1 USA lead. And on the left sideline, looking for space, was Pullman. Back out to Bull. Monica Bull. Only her 3rd international appearance. Austermuhl looking for Prince. Birgitt Prince blocked by Staples. Out of the right side. Germany looking to penetrate that middle, but it's collected by Milbrett. Now to Rafanelli. The U.S. have lost some of their focus, some of the confidence that they had, and you certainly can't attribute it to just one player. I don't think that would be fair with Stahl coming out, but something has changed. Credit Germany to an extent, but the U.S. has not elevated their game at any stage here in the second half.
This tournament obviously is very important for them, JP, to get ready for the qualifications. It seems as though some of the players still aren't quite sharp enough in their games.
In the 39th minute of play, time running out on Germany, but certainly there's more than enough time to get a tying goal. They could have several cracks at it. Throw in coming up for Hamm. You may be hearing the German coach, Gerald Bizantz. Cromwell plays it long. There's Bernhard. That ball just about has enough to get back to Goller. Klein didn't feel that high pressure coming. Well, here's where the U.S. could maybe force things. Have that high pressure trying to help their offense and bother the Germans. I've seen no real signs of fatigue on this German team. That's a surprise. Into space it comes. Goller coming out. Knocked around by Milbrett. Bad triangle, but off the crossbar. How she was even close is amazing. I might have seen a sign of fatigue there, though, because Goller came out very slow out of goal.
Again, we'll see the replay here. Milbrett gets a touch on it, beats the keeper clearly. She's able to catch up to it, but unfortunately nobody's in the box for that cross.
Back on live action. Germany outside of the 18. A driven ball to Maren. The header was too high, but it was there. That was the tying goal. It was that close.
You can see the disappointment in her face.
She's a good player. 16 games, 10 goals, but I'm not going by that. I'm going by what I've seen today.
Again, we'll look at it again here. The nice cross into the box, and she didn't do well enough to bring that ball down on that header.
Less than 5 minutes to go unofficially in this one. Played up by Linda Hamilton. Germany will take it back. And a foul is going to be called. Rafanelli committing that. And the quick restart pays off. Fitchen's pass, now Maren. Maren into space for Prinz. Chased by Overbeck. Good positioning of the body by Overbeck. So that Prinz didn't really have a good chance to get that ball.
Again, Brianna's Scurry came out real strong on that, and Overbeck was covering in behind her for any loose shot that might get through. Good defensive play there.
Scurry over the halfway line, headed away. 14 was Austermuhl, who had it initially. Bull will chase this one down the near side, but it goes out. Throwing coming up for Germany. Closing minutes of this match. A first ever for the women live here on Prime. Right now leading it 2-1 against Germany. Throw-in remains the possession of the Germans. Coleman into the middle. And Fitschen was whacked by Foudy. Free kick coming up here. Germany running out of time here. But they're finding some holes. How does the U.S. hold on to this lead? 3 more minutes to go unofficially.
Obviously don't need to take any risks in the back here. Overbeck needs to make sure that everybody is calm and composed.
And on that note, we'll let you head for downstairs and try to collect your former coach, Anson Dorrance, as we continue with the live coverage here on Prime. The United States leading over Germany 2-1 in the 1994 Chiquita Cup. Still a couple minutes left unofficially. 2.5 if our clock is right. Meinert, there'll probably be some injury time. There's a cross, it's dangerous, the header went wide. Sylvia Need, who's already scored once, just misses tying it here. Goal kick coming up for Scurry. Watch the cross coming up on the right side, and Need, very powerful in the air and on the ground. Gets all of this, but she was off target.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the official time is kept on the field of play by
one of the better
referee.
players on that German side. Certainly instrumental in the comeback, not just for the goal, but for opening up other space. Played upfield over the halfway line. The Germans take it back. A well-contested game. The United States was in the driver's seat somewhat with a 2-0 lead, even though the stats indicated it was very close, and it was. But this has been a changed team for the U.S. When Stahl came out, that's not the only reason. I think the Germans picked up on their intensity and really took it to the U.S. Gabarra with a knock to Need. Look how deep number 10 is now. Need giving it up to Bernhard on the right side. We're in the 44th minute of play. Second half, a 2-1 USA lead. Wendy Gabarra is headed for downstairs to chat with her former coach, Anson Dorrance. We'll be throwing to her at the conclusion of this game. Headed inside the 18, but Goller is there. And you don't expect much injury time to be added on to this one. There was about a minute or so added on to the first half. On the left side. It's played into the middle by the German side. Ball. Giving it up. Mead was blocked. She stays with it, gets help from Bowl. Look out. Long distance shot off the crossbar. I thought that was headed for the back of the net. As soon as she struck it, you could see the quality. And here's this player, Monica Bowl, her third international, 2 touches on the ball. Great quality. Watch this. From outside the area, the cut to position herself on the right foot gave her the chance. Scurry as high as she could, but that would have been under the crossbar had it not hit it. Nothing Scurry or any other keeper could have done with that.
Come on, y'all.
We're waiting for the ball to come back for Monica Boll, 29 years of age. Her club team, VFB Rhein. Throw in, not a corner. On the right side, lifted into the middle. Scurry is there, but she lost it. And on the reverse kick, not quite your bicycle effort, it goes over the bar, and that was Need again. Or Fitschen. Fitschen was the player. We'll watch it again from this angle. Doris Fitschen, the number 5 player, was crashing through. It was Fitchen's effort. Might have been easier for Need to do it, although that's a hard kick to attempt. Cleared now by the U.S. to the halfway line and now over it. Klein will pick it up. If this is your first time watching women's soccer, we think you've enjoyed it. More and perhaps better action to come as this tournament heats up Wednesday here on Prime. The USA will take on China. On the right side, the Germans continue to press forwards. You've got to call them unlucky here in the second half with the chances they've had. And that's it. The game has ended. The United States is a winner. On goals by Mia Hamm and Michelle Akers-Stahl, the United States have defeated Germany by a score of 2-1. When we come back, Wendy Gabarra chats with Anson Doris. Stay with us on Prime.
Are you colder than I am?